Hello everyone. My name is Vladimir Šimović and I'm a lecturer from Zagreb University of Applied Sciences in Zagreb, Croatia. Today I'm going to be presenting you a paper that I co-wrote with my colleagues Mario Senecic and Luka Lažda, who are also employees of Zagreb University of Applied Sciences. The name of the paper is Shifting Pre-Lab Activity Online for a more efficient instructional engineering laboratory session. Okay, so let's start with the presentation. For a student attending an engineering-based study program, laboratory sessions are a must. The idea of these types of classes is to provide students with hands-on experience with different types of equipment and practical examples that validate theoretical knowledge that was gained through instructions during the typical classes. The objectives of these classes are described on this slide. What we are going to be talking about today is the COVID-19 pandemic and its disruption that it brought to the laboratory sessions. We are going to be following a first semester course called Fundamentals of Electrical Engineering at the Zagreb University of Applied Sciences. In this specific course, students had 5 laboratory sessions during a 15-week semester. Each session is 3 academic hours long. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the teaching and the learning process shifted for the most part online. A bridge was formed by usage of streaming applications, presentation software, use of graphic tablets, and other tools. This change has been the biggest challenge for the typical laboratory session. In early September of 2021, a decision was made by Zagreb University of Applied Sciences by which all types of lectures except for laboratory sessions were to be held online, while for the former, the decision of the type of implementation was left up to the teachers for every course separately. After a brief discussion, a decision was made for the laboratory sessions for this to be held in parallel, online and in person. The students were given a choice between doing their lab work in person or just following it online through pre-recorded lectures from the lab. The pre-recorded lectures are readily available on YouTube, and a screenshot from one of these lectures can be seen on the slide. What we are going to be focusing our talk today is the topic of this paper, and that is the shift of the pre-lab activities also online. While in the lab, students encounter problems that stem from unfamiliar equipment or materials, a lack of technical skills, possible time constraints, and general lack of prior theoretical knowledge. The exercises proved to be challenging, and given the large list of demands, it is not surprising that without adequate preparations, students tend to be preoccupied with technical details and thus, mechanically, without thinking, just follow instruction for laboratory work. This is where pre-lab activities come in as a preparation tool. The use of pre-lab activities encourages students to prepare for a laboratory classroom session. It's a commonly used technique to help alleviate the problem of students showing up for lab work underprepared. Current studies show, what we have also noticed through our experience, that pre-lab activities reduce the technical analytical errors made by students in the laboratory, which is a desired outcome. For many years, these pre-lab activities were done by providing students questions in the lab manual. Students were required to complete these theoretical and numerical questions before the lab starts and turn them in at the beginning of the lab session. This was a prerequisite to even start an exercise, so it was a necessity for a teaching assistant to check if the task was done. So at the beginning of the exercise itself, the assistant had to review each preparation and ask each student a few questions to check the understanding of the material and that the preparation was not just copied from someone else. Considering the group of students in the lab for a specific exercise consisted of 12 to 16 students, they were arranged in pairs for one measuring station. Depending on the date and the day of the week, this proved to be a very time-consuming task for the teaching assistant. As a result, a third of the time, or 1 full school hours, was lost from the total time provided for performing the exercises. students had less time to handle the equipment necessary for the experiments in front of them and measure and process the results. The larger time waste was not for the students, but for the teaching assistant, because he had less time to help with the experiments themselves and explain their concepts to the students. So, in order to try to solve this problem, and additionally try to curb cheating in the pre-lab tasks, online pre-lab activities were introduced. In order to avoid the time-consuming task of checking the completion of each pre-lab assignment for each student, an effort was made to automate the system of evaluating the pre-lab assignments. So, a decision was made to use an LMS, a learning management system. After some research, the choice was made to use Moodle. In essence, for those who are unfamiliar, Moodle is a tool for creating electronic educational content and conducting distance learning, which was quite helpful during these COVID times. It's a modular system. It consists of smaller units that users can add and change as needed. The tool enables the creation of new content with the help of various resources or integration of already made pre-prepared electronic content. There are practically no restriction on types of documents that can be integrated and displayed in Moodle. It also enables lesson planning, user management, knowledge testing, which is we're most interested, and assessment, plus activity monitoring and some communication. To access the learning management system, students use their i@edu.hr identity. It's the authentication and authorization infrastructure of science and higher education in Croatia identifier. It's operated and coordinated by the University Computing Center, University of Zagreb, also known as Srce, in translation heart. Every student has its own unique username and it's been transferred to the Moodle system. The Moodle system itself can be accessed from any type of web browser, whether on a smartphone, tablet, desktop or laptop, which was something that we were very attracted to. Since there are 5 laboratory classes throughout the semester, there are 5 pre-lab assignments. Each provides the student an opportunity to earn an equal number of points that accumulate towards the final grade. As seen on the figure on the slide, each pre-lab assignment includes an introduction in which it's clearly stated which part of the syllabus the test covers, how many points each task is worth, and the percentage of accepted deviation from the correct result. This example accepts 1.5%. Moodle allows the setting of deadlines which are used on a regular basis. You can see on the picture that it says this quiz closed, since this was taken a screenshot of a past quiz, on Sunday 15th of November 2020 at 11:59 p.m. Considering the unproctored nature of online testing, certain steps were taken in order to curb cheating and steer students towards individual work, even though working in groups is not discouraged. For each specific task, variations were made and each of the variations has random numbers. An example of this is shown in figure 2 on the slide, where the inner workings of the first pre-lab assignment can be seen. It consists of 6 specific numerical tasks which are randomly selected from 6 pools of variations. This adds to the complexity, so hopefully the number of tasks for each student, and for each student they are presented in a random order. This all results in a situation where all students have different tasks in front of them, which can be seen on the same table, but with the same goal, to encourage them to solve the preparations independently and thus better prepare for the work on the exercises as has been the case in some other fields. So on the second picture you can see, as I said, 6 questions, and they are randomly selected from their 6 different pools. In total, as you can see on the first picture, an assignment number 1 has 18 total variations. Assignment number 2 has 20 total variations. Number 3, 9 total variations. Number 4, 6 total variations. And number 5, 9 total variations. So the number of permutations is considerably large. And also consider that each task, each variation has random numbers. So even if the students collaborate, they have to do the calculations themselves, and we're happy with that because they have to, while doing it themselves, hopefully they will learn and prepare for the laboratory exercise. Using Moodle software has proven to be very beneficial for several reasons. Firstly, a large time waste was eliminated. On average, a lab work on the course is done with 360 students for every semester. The average time of reviewing the preparation of each student was about 3 minutes, which means that the teaching assistant will need to spend about 35 to 40 minutes per exercise period for reviewing assignments for 12 students in the room. Over 30 groups, this accumulates to a total of 20 hours that can now be directly dedicated to mentoring students and helping them do the exercises and learn as much as possible during the lab session. Using Moodle has also provided us with a tool for easier documentation and performance estimates. We can now access success reports for pre-lab assignments and even generate such reports for individual tasks inside the assignment, and therefore have a deeper insight into possible holes in knowledge among students, which can be rectified after or during the laboratory classes. Such data mining analysis can lead to improvements in teaching and therefore help students in development of practical skills, which is what the lab work is all about. Also, there is no need for additional records or databases that include students' success rates, except Moodle. Everything is stored in one place. This proved to be extremely useful because in cases of re-enrolling the course or pausing years of study, because student data is permanently in the system and does not have to be searched for. The only time data about the student in the e-course is deleted from the system is when he or she passes the course. From an institutional perspective, shifting pre-lab activity online via Moodle has been a complete success. Anecdotal student input about it through regular semester surveys has been very positive, but there is a need for making a specific survey on the topic in order to further develop it. Also, further research is planned on the topic and also further upgrades on the concept of online pre-lab activity. Using pre-lab video demonstration as assessing its usefulness has become also a topic of interest. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the presentations. If you have any interest in what I've presented, definitely check out the complete paper. So, if you have any questions, I'm here for any of them. Thank you.